What's good, world? It's your boy King Phenom here. We are back once again with some more of that
King shit
that you love so much. We are coming back with a King's review of a new movie that just came out, starring Jason Statham, called Wrath of Man. I was told that I'm not allowed to give my rating first because, you know, they want to do the synopsis and everything. So, like always, we have my co-host with me. To my bottom, I don't know what he's looking like on. Hold on. Below me on the screen. Below me on the screen.
The bottom one once again.
Yeah. Below me on the screen is this is serious. You're on my screen. You're at the bottom.
I'm the bottom.
Yeah.
Well, he should be. He's the bottom. He's the bottom.
First of all, I have you know, if in any situation, I am the top. All right.
Okay.
I don't care what situation you're looking at.
All right.
I am the top.
Hey. You do you. Okay.
But I am below him for now.
over on my left side, we have the good homie Blankman right there.
My friends, good people, welcome.
Blankman, welcome. He's on his throne
African country
today.
did we just come to?
He's on his throne today.
Hey man,
I've been on
Africa for like a week now. Yes, welcome to my land. Come. Enjoy.
He's on his regal
all
shit.
All my people today. Are welcome.
Welcome.
You are finally home.
Y'all silly.
Oh man, but hey, Sirius, you got another sub.
Who's out here subbing?
Somebody
Yo,
I don't know who that is.
Thanks for the sub. Appreciate you.
They love us, man.
Man,
what
this goes out to Sirius's new sub.
I like it. I hope
you
go. It too, Luna.
I like that
honest,
too.
I don't even know what it sounds like. I was just hoping that it was a good sounding one and not the joke.
It sounded good. It sounded good.
Because I think I have a jokey one somewhere.
No, see, they like it too.
But hey, what's up, Deadly? Deadly up in the chat and like homie Virtual's dead. But anyway, back to this. So today we are going to can we get to the
Addy, you gonna let us
actual review?
You gonna let us do this thing? Addy, appreciate the gifted subs there. Man. King Showtime's got one, Top Chef's got one, Mark's got one.
There you go. Hey. You know what I'm saying? Man. Follow us. We about to be hey, we blowing up.
Hey, I'm gonna give this to Addy. You got two hands.
It was low.
It was low. It was two hand claps of Ric Flair. You didn't hear it? Oh man.
Oh, woo?
Yeah, it was a woo. It was two hand claps of Ric Flair.
It was low.
Yeah, it was low. We didn't hear it.
Addy with another gifted sub to Virtuous Dead.
Man, I'm only laughing because she gave Blankman a gifted sub.
I know.
Hey man, I'll take it. Let's go. Shoot. Let's go. Hey, we're gonna blow up. I'm telling y'all, y'all keep messing around. Hey. This time next year, you're gonna be like, oh damn, we knew them when. Yep.
Hey, shout out to the girl Addy, man.
You just got a pocket full of those, don't you?
Right.
The bad part is most of these are insults that I have ready for drugs. So I have to really think about what I'm looking at before I press it because I don't want to accidentally call somebody a test tube baby.
Don't want to do that. Not on this momentous occasion. No.
Not on this. Yeah, not with Addy up here, like dropping subs, man. Like,
let's go.
Gotta appreciate the love. And so out of that love that you have shown us, we are going to entertain you guys with the movie review. Like I stated, Wrath of Man, starring Jason Statham, just came out not yesterday, but the Friday beforehand, which is May the 21st? May the 21st.
Yeah.
You know how I am about numbers, man. I guess.
I want to make sure people know. So,
okay.
This is a Guy Ritchie movie, and as Sirius and Blankman have stated before in past podcasts, they are Guy Ritchie fans. So I'll let one of them go ahead and give the synopsis of this movie.
Sirius, go ahead.
You want me to give this? Okay, I'll give the synopsis.
Go
all right. So, once again, this is a Guy Ritchie film starring Jason Statham. This is like I guess you would say like a revenge heist thriller movie.
Heist? Yeah. Yeah.
or like a revenge heist thriller movie. Pretty much Jason's. And we're gonna try to keep this spoiler free as much as possible. Might be
It's
slight
really hard.
spoilers. It's always hard, but we're gonna try very hard.
There might be some spoilers in there.
But pretty much Jason Statham plays an armored truck worker on the first day of his job. It was like the first day, I believe. And fuck, man, synopsis without really saying anything. Okay, so Jason Statham.
You want me to try?
Yeah, try like it without saying.
Do you want me to read? Do you want me to read with
So
what Google has?
It's fundamental, man. Don't put me through the pressure cooker. Yeah, man. If you can read it, let's read it.
Everyone has Google.
So basically, the movie is a revenge heist movie where Jason Statham's character plays a gangster / boss /
Wait. See, that's too much. You're going.
That's not too much.
You're going in. You're going.
No, you're not. Once you go. No.
Okay. All right. Let's read the synopsis.
I'll read the synopsis.
There we go.
Mysterious and wild-eyed new security guard for a cash truck service company surprises his coworker when he unleashes precision skills during a heist against their truck. The crew is left wondering who he is and where he came from. Soon, the markman's ultimate motive becomes clear as he takes drastic and irrevocable steps to settle a score.
Bro, did you hear that? We are bad at this. Yes, that's exactly how you say what that movie is about without saying anything. Like that's what a synopsis is. I am bad.
Yes, Addy, Post Malone is in it.
And Post Malone is in it.
Yes, he is in it. Yes.
Okay, so look, as far as the review is concerned, I'm gonna go last. So
okay, I'll go first then.
Yeah, tell me what did you think about it?
So my review of the movie is it's a Guy Ritchie being Oh, I didn't know that was gonna happen.
Hold on, wait.
Type thing.
Talk about
what?
You froze right after you said
I
Guy
wasn't
Ritchie.
even done.
This is all we saw. No, this is what happened. Guy Ritchie.
Oh, for real? I froze?
You froze.
And then you came back and was like, and I was totally surprised.
All right, so let me go back.
Okay.
So now I'm frozen. So, you know, the Guy Ritchie gives you that surprise ending that, I didn't see that coming from anywhere.
Wait, go back all the way to the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to start all over again. Yeah.
Okay, so Guy Ritchie movie here. That this movie is basically, I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. There were some plot holes. I'm like, that was a bit. Why? You know, I wanted them. Jason Statham's character. Well, I got a lot of questions still. Like, what does he do for a living? Where did he get that training from? You know, like everything else fit except his backstory. I didn't understand his backstory. I understood the revenge part of it. I understand why he did it, but he was really good. I mean, like really good. Give me his backstory. Why are they scared? Why is everybody scared of him? Why is he the ghost that's been 25 years walking around? That's a small spoiler. But who is this guy? That's what I think. Other than that, the movie was really good. The ending was. The ending's the only reason why I won't give it 4 crowns.
So
I wasn't a big fan of the ending.
So I'm going to try to elaborate a little bit more. I'm going to try to give some details without spoiling stuff.
Nah, I'm giving my review of the movie. My review was like it was a good movie, but Jason Statham's character needed more fleshing out.
The first thing I'll say about this movie is, if you saw the trailer, you were going in thinking that this was like a straightforward revenge film. Like you were thinking that that it was just like your standard Jason Statham, like transporter-ish type. Oh, you did me wrong. I'm just gonna go ahead and kick some ass and take some names. And it got a little bit more. It got more in depth than that. It was you find out some things about Jason Statham's character that you really wouldn't suspect. And you find it out not like, I say maybe about 30, 45 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
Which that was actually kind of it was actually kind of surprising for me. Overall, I like the cast that was in here. I liked Josh Hartnett is in here. He played a character called Man Boy Sweat or something like that. Everyone that worked at this armored truck company had some type of nickname, and it was just like one dude was called Bullet. I forgot why he was called Bullet. Then
Hold up. Was that Josh Hartnett?
Yeah, Man Boy Sweat. Yes, that was
Man Boy Sweat. Yeah,
I thought he looked familiar, but I'm like, that don't look like him.
They had a lot of like noteworthy faces in here.
That looked exactly like Josh Hartnett.
Yeah, just with a goatee. You had Josh Hartnett. You had Laz Alonso. You had Scott Eastwood. I can never remember the dude's name from Burn Notice, but if anyone
Jeffrey Donovan.
Yeah, I know talking about
Jeffrey Donovan. He was the main character from Burn Notice, in which once he started narrating, like there's a certain part of the movie he starts narrating, and as soon as it starts happening, I'm just like, he's right back to Burn Notice.
Let me ask you a question. In that part there, they're narrating that one scene. Did you think they were going to flashback to go, we're not doing it this way, or just me? Do you think it was just a run through, and it was like, okay, that could happen, so let's do it this way, and they were going to do it completely different?
No.
Maybe I was reading too much into the movie, but that's what I was thinking. Like, they're just running through it.
That's not. Yeah. That's Guy Ritchie's style. So whenever he's explaining something or have somebody narrating the scene and they're going step by step while they're doing the planning. So they do the plan and the execution at the same time. That's how he films it. So they're going through the plan and then he'll show them executing the plan that they're talking about. So yeah, that's Guy Ritchie.
Yeah, because I thought
even if the plan doesn't go 100% correct, they still show them trying to go through the steps of said plan.
Like they'll go and they'll trip and they'll be like, well, what if he falls here? And they'll be like, well, if he falls here, we have to pick him up, and then they'll show somebody picking him up, and like that's just how he.
Yeah, like The Gentleman, like the movie The Gentleman, that was like something like that.
Still haven't seen that.
Ooh,
what?
I own it. Calm down. I just haven't watched
what?
it.
Oh, you're missing a good one, man.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's better than this one.
Damn. I mean, the Rotten Tomatoes agrees with you, so.
Better than this one, yeah.
But yeah, like I'm saying, I like Jason Statham's character a little bit more than I thought I would, because like I said, I thought he was going to be he's not a real fleshed out character like Blankman said, but it was just, I guess I'm just so used to Jason Statham just always playing Jason Statham that it was nice to see him play just a little bit different of a variant of Jason Statham. Like, he's still dangerous, can still kick ass, but it was just something about his position in this where you're just like, damn. It was like he was just ready to get his hands dirty, and he was like, fuck the world.
Yeah.
I appreciated that. It was a particular scene at a particular video shoot where like my man was just like, nah, fuck all this. Like he was delivering some cold lines. Like
yeah.
Like it was just the one line when someone told him, look, we did everything we possibly could to try to do something. And my man basically said, well, if you're not giving me the results I want, then you haven't done everything you could possibly do. And I was just like, hey, this dude just seems like he's just really close to the edge, and it's not going to take much before he just starts like, even if you helping me, I will kill you if you don't give me results.
That's what I was feeling. I felt like their lives were in danger every time they kept saying that, hey, we did everything that we could do. And it's just like
his associates were like, that's just the type of revenge he was on. He was on the type of revenge tour to where if he didn't know you and didn't care about you, oh, you're fucked. If he didn't know you and you just like and you just tiptoe that line, or you just say the wrong thing.
He had like this much patience for you.
Yeah, he had zero fucks to give. He had zero fucks to give. What was the line? What was the line he said? So you're telling me that you think you've done everything, but you haven't done everything. And that's some like, so somebody tell you some shit like that, you're like, what did I miss? Okay, I'm gonna go back because you're serious.
Tells me some shit like that, I feel like I'm gonna die.
Yeah, I need to figure out. Okay, so you want me to fillet him? That's what you want. You want me to hang on top of a building? Okay.
It depends on what it is. Because like honestly, I say stuff like that to like varying degrees. But it's like when someone
but
says
you don't say that, but you don't say that.
not that. No, because the situation is totally different. But like when somebody is like, yeah, I think such and such. It's like, well, do you think or do you know? Like I said, like it's very.
But that's what basically he said.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. The situation that was at hand was a bit more serious and murderous than any situation that I say it in. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, but yeah, I like Jason Statham a lot. Like Jason Statham, he's not the pinnacle of an actor, but even and he's like I said, he's always gonna kind of play Jason Statham. But it was just something about I just like it was a little bit more refreshing. This version of Jason Statham.
I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, like as many revenge movies as I've seen him in like Parker, Safe. It was the Home
Alone.
Yeah, the Home Front. Yeah, Home Front. And I was just like. Nah, if I had to take different Jason Stathams and put them in a Jason Statham movie fight, I don't know. I feel like this one if he keeps that same emotion, he might fuck everybody up.
I got something for you after Sirius's review.
That's why I said if he keeps that same emotion, Sirius, I'm like that.
But we've seen other Jason Stathams that are like more skilled. More like,
but it wasn't.
He was just like mad in this one. But like we've seen better Jason Statham action. Action characters.
It was a delivery.
Like this was my man's version of A Man Apart.
Yeah. I
was like that. This is basically just Guy Ritchie doing a better version of A Man Apart.
And I love A Man Apart with Vin Diesel and Lorenz Tate and the good revenge action thriller. It's a really good movie.
A little far-fetched, but still good.
I just can't agree with that. Nah, I can't agree. Like, okay, as far as emotions and as far as like the what's the word I'm looking for? Like the ambiance of the movie or the feel of the movie, because it's a revenge thriller. I can see how you can say, yeah, this is like his version of A Man Apart, because all Vin Diesel did in A Man Apart was grumble and yell because, you know, they killed his girlfriend or wife or whatever. Yeah. Like he just had to play a mad character throughout the whole movie. And that's all Jason Statham did in this movie. He just played a mad, like you just caught Jason Statham on a really bad day, and he was like, "All right, and action." And he was still kind
of calculated in this. Jason Statham was still kind of calculated a little bit more in this movie, you know, because we had one scene with him and a particular coworker in that coworker's apartment, and I didn't see that coming at all.
Like, no, I didn't see that one either.
Like I didn't like the confrontation. Like I thought maybe he might be investigating this person, but I didn't see the confrontation coming and playing out the way it did.
I mean, no, that's true. Like I say, he was the word I would use to describe Jason Statham in this movie is scary. Excuse me.
Now let me ask you a question.
He was a scary guy. He was scary.
Just this character of Jason Statham, he would be a good Bond.
Fuck no! Why you make me? Why do you make me cuss at you?
I think Jason Statham would be a good Bond.
This is far too early in the podcast.
I think he'd be a good Bond. I think he'd be a good Bond. I think his character would be a good Bond. I'm sorry. What's his name? David Craig. His Bond is black.
He said David Craig, the singer.
What's his name?
Daniel Craig.
You know what I was talking about. You're telling me that his character is not the same as Jason Statham's character in this movie? Think about it.
But Daniel Craig's a better actor than Jason Statham, though.
Nah, man. Blankman just be saying stuff.
Man.
The fuck no, exactly, turn up. He just be saying stuff to get a rise out of me, bro. Because for you to say that means you don't understand the James Bond character at all.
I understand James Bond. But look how they progressed.
At all.
James Bond character turned into a mercenary. That's who he turned into. He's not a spy anymore.
The movie has the plots have turned him into a mercenary.
So you take
the character James Bond has always been the same Bond. It's just the way he goes about doing his missions.
He's a mercenary now.
Yeah, but that doesn't change his attitude and his personality of who James Bond is.
I think Jason Statham will do it. I think the James Bond is anyway. We'll get to that later, but finish your review.
Nah, he ain't suave enough, and he ain't got enough hair for that.
That's what I'm saying. So, he gotta have some hair.
Blankman just makes me want to cuss at him, bro. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just something about his face. Go ahead, Phenom. You were saying.
That was basically it. I like Jason Statham a lot, and I don't watch a lot of Jason Statham movies the way I used to because I just like it's just Jason Statham being Jason Statham. So
yeah, you kind of glance over him now at this point.
Yeah, but Jason Statham, he has a good track record working with Guy Ritchie, so I was like, I'll give this a shot.
It was a good movie.
Guy Ritchie has made some other movies that I like a lot, like The Man from U.N.C.L.E. So I was like, it never hurts to go ahead and watch a Guy Ritchie movie. Like the fact that I haven't really watched a movie, and I don't know how long, and this is the first movie that I've actually sat back and watched in a long time, and I enjoy myself. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just happy that it didn't fall. Like I'm happy that Guy Ritchie was smart enough to have little twists here and there. You know, the thing with like he was a badass, man. Like we saw that there were certain entities in this movie where they were just like where they just knew who he was, and they're just like, hey, nah, don't.
I just want to know. I just want to know who he was. Give me a little. I want. What does he do? Did he kill for the queen? What did he do? Was he MI6? Talk to me. I want to know what he did. But he was really good. I mean, the first scene, he was really good.
Andy Garcia basically just said, "Hey, don't fuck with him." that's
yeah. All. I mean, come on.
I know nothing about Andy Garcia's character in this entire movie except he just shows up out of nowhere and says, "Don't fuck."
Was he a Fed?
No. What did he say? What did he say? He said, "Let the painter paint."
Yeah, let the painter paint.
I don't know. Stay out of his way. Let the painter paint. Like
that's what the guy said in the car. What the fuck does that mean?
What the fuck is that? Let the painter paint.
Okay. No, but it was how many crowns we giving it, guys? I'm sorry.
Hold on.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sirius.
Yeah, let me.
Wrong. Anyway,
I'm going to start this off with saying that Guy Ritchie, and really thinking about different directors, he might be my favorite director.
Top two for me.
I have to watch King Arthur before I make that decision.
I'm a huge fan. Don't watch King Arthur. I'm a huge fan of his storytelling and his storytelling methods. How he uses environments to it's like when he has the way he tells stories, he has very interesting characters with interesting dialogues. And then he also has the environments that these characters are in that also lends to the building of the character. And he's done that in movies like Snatch and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, Rock and Roller, The Gentleman. Like, you know, he's done that in a lot of movies. And that's one of the things that, like, when the Guy Ritchie film was coming out, he did Sherlock 1 and 2 with Robert Downey Jr. When he puts a project out, I'm like, yeah, man, I probably should watch this. So I appreciate Guy Ritchie in that respect. And like I said, he may be my favorite director. Now, as far as this movie, I didn't see a lot of those Guy Ritchie things that he does so well. And I felt like he was trying to switch it up for something that he's not really familiar with. First of all, this movie starts off as a revenge thriller. I don't care. It's about a 2-hour movie. It starts off as the whole first half of the movie plot, revenge. That's what he's, investigations. That's what the whole story lends to the character, that everything is about revenge. And then the second half of the movie turns into a heist film in which the second half, the only thing that the second half has to do with the first half is Jason Statham's character and his motivations. So like I said, the whole plot of the movie goes from a revenge thriller to a heist movie. And the second half of the movie, you don't remember that it's a revenge thriller until the very end. And I didn't like that. Like, from the moment a particular crew was introduced, and I'm saying this because I see Phenom had a thinking face on.
I was literally about to pull up my Plex. Like, where my Plex at? I might have to.
The moment this particular crew came into play and it introduced more characters and it introduced new actors and their motivations, that's when it turned into a heist film. So now the second half of the movie was more so about them and the heist. So you left a lot of that revenge plot with Jason Statham's character in the first half of the movie. Now they meet throughout the second half, or, you know, you still see Jason Statham throughout the second half, but now he goes from a main character into the movie to now a sub character that has his own plot. And his plot doesn't shine again until the very end.
And then go ahead. I'm sorry.
And I mean, and that's, I wasn't a fan of that, because usually with Guy Ritchie films, for the lack of a better word, like it's more chaotic than that. Guy Ritchie films has these colorful cast of characters, and it's like throughout the film, they would make decisions, they would make moves, they would do certain things that looks scattered. So you would see this character, he has his plot, he has his plot, he has his plot. You got three people that have their plot, and they go off and they meet different characters. And throughout the movie, you see these three different plots like spinning together. And then at the end, that's when they all smash together. And you're like, oh shit, it's like a collision. That's how Guy Ritchie movies have always been.
The Gentleman was really good at that.
Yeah.
That was the best version of that.
He didn't do that. He didn't do that in this movie. And I feel as though like he didn't do that because, like I said, he's trying to do another type of genre that he's not familiar with. And that's that tough guy genre. He's got Jason Statham. Jason Statham's this tough guy. You know, he can do the mean and gritty real good. Let me do a movie like this to where he's a badass. And he just didn't pull off. He got the character right. But he didn't pull off the plot around that character, and he didn't weave it throughout the rest of the movie. And I was kind of disappointed in that, because it's not like he doesn't know how to use Jason Statham. He's used him before in Snatch, in which Jason Statham was great in Snatch. He talked, and he was a fast talker. And that's what Guy Ritchie liked to use back in the day. He liked to use fast talkers to get you familiar with the plot, get you familiar with the character. And then he used them again in Revolver, which is another movie with Jason Statham, Andre 3000, a Ray Liotta, a great fucking movie. One of my top three, top five.
You put me on that movie. It was really good.
And he knows how to use Jason Statham. In this movie, he tried to use that variant of Jason Statham, that tough guy character of Jason Statham, that action star Jason Statham. And he tried to do that. And I think that's where he was a little bit out of his element, because Jason Statham, all that grunting he did, he probably said like 5 words through the whole movie. And I know that's an exaggeration, but like he didn't have a lot of lines of dialogue.
That's why I said his character needed to be fleshed out more.
Yeah. So that I mean, again, me being a Guy Ritchie fan, that's what kind of like took me out of this movie a little bit, and it was disappointing. Now, as far as the cast, this cast is fucking great. There was no reason why this movie shouldn't be like one of the greatest movies of the year, depending on people that was in here. You got Jason Statham, you got Josh Hartnett, who comes out of the shadows every now and then, and he gives you something good. You got Jeffrey Donovan, like you said.
More comedic relief in this one.
Yeah, I didn't really like his character in this one.
If he was funny, like he wasn't really all that comedic relief.
All he pretty much did was make like 1 or 2 inappropriate jokes, and then after that, he just was like, "What do you know about this guy? What do you feel?"
Yeah, he's in the background. Like, he was in the background.
Yeah, it was like you know. I mean, go ahead.
Your review, what you're saying, completely makes sense, because he did not, like you said, the first half of the movie, it was this. The second half of the movie was this. And then at the very end, we'll tie it together, but not really finish it off. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to really finish it off, but we're going to tie it all together. And that was my issue. They didn't really finish off the movie. It was like, that's it. I was expecting at the very end something else to happen, you know, but I didn't get that. All I got was, okay, we're done. What? That's all you're going to give me? And that's what kind of like threw me off. I'm with you. There was a lot of plot holes in this movie. And I was going into it thinking like, The Gentleman was so good. And like you said, all the plates were spinning, and eventually it all came together. Mm-hmm. This one was like, I was watching 2 separate movies.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, it's like watching 2 separate movies.
Y'all got to remember, this shit took place in America. Like all
But
that shit y'all talking about,
all
that shit
Guy
takes
Ritchie
place
stuff.
over. All that shit that y'all talking about that takes place overseas in London.
And that's the thing. I think we're talking about the fast talking and the Guy Ritchie dialogue. I think when he uses English actors and their dialogue is so much faster and so much more wittier, so it kind of feels better. It feels faster.
I would let you get away with that, but then I would say Revolver.
But he's talking about Andre 3000 is a really good actor. He's the one that kind of like, though their characters were like really, even their monologues were good monologues. There were no really good monologues in this.
I would give you that, but then I would also say The Man from U.N.C.L.E. I don't know if you've seen it. I know
I've never seen The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yeah, so
that took place in Australia. Was it Australia?
The whole movie took place in Australia.
No,
it wasn't. It wasn't in America.
It started off for sure in Germany because they had to rescue the chick from the other side of the Berlin Wall.
Yeah,
like
I'm trying to find another. Nah, everything else wasn't here. just Revolver. Everything else wasn't. I don't even think Revolver was here, was it?
I don't think so.
Vegas.
I think Andre was overseas.
I'm about to say because they consider it to be a British-French crime thriller.
Yeah. So then, okay. So when he comes to America, then he stinks up the joint. You know what?
He tries to Americanize it, and in America, our idea of a tough guy is just the strong silent type.
Yeah.
No, but I'm with you. Guy Ritchie, he does better when he does. I like when he does have English actors. I like the dialogue when he does with English and those type of actors. I think their classically trained speech fits better with a wittier plot. If he had better dialogue in this movie, it'd been so much better. Like you said, it was a dumbed down American style movie.
I also think part of it was they were trying to keep it within a certain time frame. Because I feel like if the movie was a little bit longer, like you would because let's face it, the biggest thing or the biggest letdown as far as fleshing out characters more than Jason Statham is pretty much the bank or the truck robbery crew.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. You don't really know. I know the dude from Burn Notice, but I don't really know why you're doing it. I know Laz Alonso from
The Boys.
They just showed up.
The Boys and stuff like that, but I don't know. You do. Scott Eastwood just shows up and he's just the crazy. He's just the crazy loose cannon guy.
Mm-hmm. They just
but see,
showed up there you go.
That's the trouble that you find yourself into when you introduce a completely different plot in the second half of the movie, because you could have introduced these dudes in the beginning with Jason Statham and have it all run congruently, but instead you introduce these guys the second half. Their motivation is up in the air. It's just money. It's money. That's it. Hey, that's their motivation. It's money. And it's
he said that's America. Money is our motivation.
So there's no fleshing out of anything to do with these characters. They're just here just to do whatever. And they're here to play character archetypes. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily a character, but a type of a character who would.
I completely agree.
Sarge.
What I didn't understand was what was he the boss of? Okay. What were they supposed to be doing? Why was he supposed to be there where he was at? You know what I'm saying? I don't understand that whole scenario. Why was he there?
Why was he where?
Why was he at the food truck? Because was that crew part of his group or what?
No, that was explained. That was explained very
good.
That was explained. Yeah, he was. Yeah, his people were planning on doing something, and one of the guys got into an accident, and he wasn't able to scout out something. Okay. So they were like, "Hey, we know you got something to do, but can you please just, help? Can you please just help out for a quick second and just scout this place, and then you can just leave right after that. That's all we need you to tell us."
And see that just threw me off because when I watching the now you guys said something, I watched it thinking that part was a setup for him.
No, it
just whatever happened to him, but that was just part of it.
It was never for this whole movie. It was never or at least the beginning. What you find out, what causes him to go on his revenge tour, it was never a purposeful thing that happened to him. It was legit.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, it was legit. we planned on doing this. Someone else planned on doing this, but they beat us to the punch first.
But see, now instead of that huge ass coincidence, it would have been better if it was a setup. If it was planned, it would have been way better. And you can tell that story from the beginning to the end. But the fact that it was like, oh, it's just coincidence. It was like,
you guys keep going.
That's like a crazy coincidence to have, man. Like it's bad fucking luck, if you ask me. Look at his screen.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely bad. It's definitely bad luck. But I don't know. I feel like I've seen Jason Statham in so many movies where most of the time he does get portrayed by somebody. It's like just being like, hey, wrong place, wrong time. That's all. Like that's something different. Like most of the time with Jason Statham, it's always, oh, someone betrayed you. And Parker, his crewmates or his team betrayed him, and I think they like left him for dead or something like that. And
that's with J-Lo, right?
Yeah, and the transporter, he took a job. Technically he broke the rules, but he still delivered the package. But they betrayed him. Like they don't know that he opened they don't know that he opened the trunk, but they still.
But those movies were years ago. When's the last time Jason Statham's been betrayed?
I feel like it's happened enough times, man. He was betrayed. They was betrayed by Mel Gibson in Expendables.
That was years ago, man. That was like 10 years ago, man. Like, come on. What is it?
I mean, but when you think about his biggest movies, that's what happens. He gets betrayed.
But what I'm saying is, if you throw that plot in there, that means now you're looking at his associates in a different light. You're looking like now you can have another strong character that's like, oh, hey, what are his motivations? There's more story, because what this movie is lacking is story and plot. And I feel as though if you added a dynamic like that, you can fill in more story, or you can add more story, or you can make more things make sense. But like with this, I mean, like Blankman says, like, it's plot holes. Yeah, there's like that lucky coincidence, like I'm just not a fan of. Like they just so happen to do that job right where he was parked. Like, come on, man. Like that's too much happenstance. Now, if it was planned, it'd be a lot better. But that's just too much happenstance. But real quick, I mean, just to top off or finish off my review, whatever. I didn't appreciate the wasted cast. Josh Hartnett, I felt we know who Josh Hartnett is. Wasted. We know what he can do. Andy Garcia just phones in all his jobs now. He doesn't. He's just there to make a quick buck. I don't think I remember the last time Andy Garcia has acted in anything.
I'm not going to hold it against Andy Garcia, because what was he really given to do?
That's what I'm saying. What was the point of his character? That's what I'm saying. Wasted. Like, why are you?
I think the point of his character was just to emphasize how dangerous Jason Statham's character was supposed to be. Like, because his whole thing is, all we know about Andy Garcia in this movie is that he's some type of agent. We don't know what kind of agency or something like that, but we know it's something major. And we know that when he got involved with police, he was just like, hey, just sit back and let him do what he does. And
again, yeah.
And that's what it's supposed to be. I feel like this movie was supposed to be one of those movies where, like, Guy Ritchie just didn't want to give you all the answers to who he is. It's like, look, you don't need to know why you don't need to know exactly why he's a dangerous man. You just need to know that he's a dangerous person. Like sometimes in some movies, when you have a bad guy, you don't need to know exactly why this person's a bad guy. They're just the bad guy. It's like you don't need to know sometimes why some people are the good guy. We just know that they're the good guy. I didn't need Man of Steel to tell me why Superman's the good guy. I know why Superman's the good guy. I don't need the origin story of how Spider-Man became because I know Spider-Man's a superhero. So sometimes it's just like,
but this one you needed more for this one. This one you needed to know why. What made him so scary? Why is he so scary? What did he do? Does he got bodies on him?
But see,
you know he got bodies on him.
But this is all right. So this is my argument on this.
Because you see him kill people, and then after he kills people, that's when the government people come in and say, "Leave him alone." So apparently, he got to do something.
But this is my argument though. Because okay, so you have these obvious, like no one ever flashed a badge, but you have this obvious government people, right? But then you have him and his crew those two things don't match for what he has, for what his crew, the type of things they were planning, for the type of things that they did for that revenge tour that he was on.
Resources that he had.
Yeah, that doesn't go hand in hand with why it is that Andy Garcia is just like, let the painter paint. What type of relationship do you all have to where he is a him, whatever the fuck he was, a boss, and Andy Garcia, who is, I don't know, maybe, I guess, an agent. Like those two things.
ATF, DEA. What does he do? I want to know.
Those two things don't match. And like Blankman is saying, if you have like a line of dialogue, or if you have like a thin plot that can connect those things, that's better. But I mean, I understand what you're saying for like characters that you just know who are bad. Like you just know they're bad. Because I would even say with like John Wick, they never told you what he did in his past. Like they kind of referenced it a little bit, but when they first introduced John Wick, it was through a series of phone calls. It was just like, you did what to who? Oh, let me call such and such. Why did you hit my son? Oh, like those scenes in itself tell a story like, oh, this nigga must be a bad motherfucker. Let's not mess with him.
Those were at the beginning, and later on in John Wick, they give you a little taste on, oh, he's the devil. Oh, he's the goat. He does this. He's, what do they call him? I don't know what Baba Yaga.
Only thing that the dude really said was he did one mission. Like he did one, like he killed people. We gave him one thing to do to get out the life that we didn't think he was going to do, and he did it.
No, but what I'm saying is before that, like before they even said any of that, you had those phone calls between Leguizamo and the Russian guy. And it was like, oh, you did what to who? Oh, that just those scenes in itself is telling like, hey, all right, well, obviously this is a bad motherfucker.
But the same way the cops came up to John's house and he was just like, oh, you cool? You back? Oh, okay, then we're just going to dip. Isn't that the same as Andy Garcia telling the cops, hey, leave him alone, just let him be?
No,
but it wasn't done
yes, but that doesn't explain what he does now and his relationship to Andy Garcia. That cop was just a cop doing his job, and he's like, "Hey, John, you working?"
Well, maybe I see things a little bit differently because I do things a little bit differently after I see a movie and I do a little research. So I know Andy Garcia's like character's name. I know what Jason Statham's doing or who he is, kind of. So I mean, I saw like
unless what you read is different from what the movie showed. Like I know who Jason Statham's like, know who he is or what he's doing. I'm saying the relation between him and Andy Garcia. That's unless you read that and you know that. I don't know that, but they didn't in the movie. They didn't show an obvious like relation that ties them. Like they didn't say he did a job for the government back in the day, or he was like an informant or something.
Maybe I don't need that because I've seen enough. Maybe I don't need that because I've seen enough movies to know that a lot of times when someone does something and they're shown to be in a certain light and the government gets involved, it's one of those things where I don't need to be told what the relationship is. I know, oh, this person does something, the government finds some type of value in it, so we're just not going to fuck with you.
Nah,
like you see that. It doesn't have to be explained. We've seen that before in movies where it's just like, oh, this person is this big drug lord. Like, I don't need to know the relationship between you and the CIA. The CIA is just like, hey, we're gonna let you do what you do because it benefits us. That's all we need. That's all we need to do. Like, or it keeps certain things. Like, I've seen that plenty of times in movies. I've seen it in TV shows where it's just like, oh, you're just gonna let them go. It's like, yeah, because like
but I would agree with you, but this movie actually needed that. It needed to be flushed out more. And you can felt it. You felt the holes in that. You felt the holes.
And this is the thing. And this is the thing. I see that as
being left to open interpretation, maybe.
But see, this is the thing though, because usually when you have like the government or the CIA or whatever agency looking over you like that, you're kind of like untouchable in a sense because of that value that you're talking about. But the reason why he switched his plan up to get that employment the way that he did is because his homeboy came up to him and said, hey, listen, we can only do this revenge tour so long until somebody decides to touch us back.
And he made a really good point at that point. It was like,
and that shows like, yeah, we're not untouched. We're doing this And yeah, we're getting away with this, but we can only do this for so long. And so they're not protected. There is no FBI. There is no government dome that's just like, hey, don't touch that crew over there because, no, like they can be touched too. And they was like, hey, listen, we can only get away with this shit for so long until somebody decides to touch us back.
But that's the thing with anything. Anytime anytime you've seen a movie and a government agency let someone do something, like then they know it's like, hey, we're letting you do this, but you do know that there's like no matter what, like whenever there's a deal in place between agencies and other entities, they know like, hey, we got you, we can protect you. But once you cross certain lines, we can't do anything anymore. Like that's like a known fact. It's like no one is completely untouchable. Like no matter what kind of working arrangement someone has, eventually there's always going to be a line.
Hey, listen, bro, I hear you. And with your movie prowess, man, I understand you might not have needed that, but to like the casual movie watcher, that's a plot hole that you kind of need, man. Like, I understand where you're coming from, but that, like, for a regular watcher, man, like, you need that plot to kind of be sewn up. And a simple line of dialogue would help you get through that. And they just didn't do it. So, I mean, like I said, that, and then just wasted cat. Like Jeffrey Donovan is so wasted in this way. Like it really made me mad that they brought him in.
Yeah, like I agree. I definitely agree. They wasted characters. But like I said, from my end, it's just a lot of things were just like here, like this is some facts. Interpret it yourself. See how you want to interpret it. And sometimes I like that. Sometimes I don't. In this case, I didn't mind it because, like I said, I've seen enough movies and TV shows inside this genre to where I'm not racking my head like, oh man, what is he doing? I was like, all right, he's this, like apparently he's this person. You can tell that whatever he's doing, he must be really good. Like he's either really good at it or he's really revered because these people that work with him are scared of him. Like it's like, dog, we have you outnumbered and we're still scared to do shit against you, or we're still scared that you're mad at us and what you might do being mad at us. I don't need like the exact minutia of why it is that you are who you are. I just need like, hey, this is an American crime movie. Like you're out for revenge. I'm cool with that.
So how many crowns we giving it, guys?
I give it a 2.5.
Serious?
This movie gets a half a crown from me, good sir.
Damn. Half a crown?
Nah, that's
okay.
You basically saying. Nah,
I'm
you
going
basically
2.5
saying
crowns also.
You basically saying that movie's bullshit.
As a Guy Ritchie fan, bro, he really dropped the ball on this. You know,
it's 2.5. It's a good watch.
Hold on, not to mention. Hold on.
Tell me that you like King Arthur and then say that this is a half a crown.
Hold on, not to mention that. Also, Jason Statham totally phoned this performance in.
I think that was his character.
It's a Jason Statham movie. He always phones it in though.
He completely phoned this performance, and even when he was supposed to be like a dad, remember that scene? He's I'm tough as nails. He still looked like he was out for revenge, and there was nothing happened. He was supposed to be happy in that scene, and he was still like.
That's who he is. Even his ex-wife was just like, you're just still this cold-blooded.
And again, that part, I need some more background on that too. Give me something.
Again, I had he had
one
an
crown.
ex-wife.
I'm going to one crown. I'm right. You're right. One crown.
Nah, y'all bullshitting. I had to sit here in the past and listen to Sirius tell me why I need to watch King Arthur, and he's going to say that this is a half a crown.
Oh,
I was probably some bullshit.
King Arthur is better than this movie.
Yeah.
Because the Guy Ritchie isms are all in.
I know that's a goddamn lie.
Yeah,
If I watch King Arthur tonight, what's
the guy that plays lead King Arthur? What's his name? The guy from
Charlie Hunnam.
Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah.
So he does a good job with Charlie Hunnam and King Arthur, and then does another good job with him again and The Gentleman.
Yep. Absolutely.
So Guy Ritchie knows how to get the best out of these actors. and he's worked with Jason Statham before, and he knows how to get the best out of him.
This was an American crime
Jason Statham
you're talking about getting the best out of Jason Statham from the early 2000s. Like, and then you said Jason Statham phoned it in.
So he phoned it in. What do we say about Bruce Willis?
Jason Statham has been Jason Statham for the last few years. So therefore, it doesn't matter who he's working with. If this is his style and that's who he become, it doesn't matter who he's working with. Like, Bruce Willis can get the original director of Die Hard and probably still act like Bruce Willis today. That does that's not the director's fault.
They just gave up, bro. They just
Jason Statham is Jason Statham.
I believe Guy Ritchie told Jason Statham, "Hey, listen, man, just act tough." And he look, this movie to me isn't a good movie, so I'm sure he probably told
Jason Statham not just act tough though. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
In Snatch, he acted. In Revolver, he did act tough, but it was a lot more. That's what I'm saying. In Revolver,
once again, you're talking about when did
Revolver, he was a tough guy, right? Blankman, I'm talking to you.
Oh yes. I was listening to you guys.
He's a tough guy on Revolver, right?
Mm-hmm. In a movie that came out in 2005.
But he's also acting 2005, in Revolver, right?
So I know what you're missing. Seriously, I know what you're missing. You're missing the dialogue from a Guy Ritchie movie. This movie didn't have any dialogue. It was like point A, let's do this. It didn't give you any of that Guy Ritchie feel to it. I understand what you're saying. It didn't give me anything. It was like, all right, it was a good little. It wasn't even an action movie. It wasn't really action. It was more of like, all right, this is all moving. It was slow and it was building. Then it went really, really fast, and then stopped.
Addy, and this is I'm gonna read this question out because
I was literally about to type that too,
because it's an important question that everybody should know. When you phone in something, that means you're supposed to be there, and you're just like, I'll just call instead. Hello, I can just read the lines off the script. You don't need me there, do you? Yeah. That's what happens when you phone it in. Like, you just don't care. You're just Bill Murraying it through Ghostbusters. That's what happens when you.
But here's where you contradict yourself. You say Jason Statham's just phoning it in, but then on the other hand, you said Guy Ritchie just told him to act tough. So how you phoning it in if you're doing what the director told you to do?
I was speaking to your point because you're like, all Jason Statham has been doing his last few years in the last few movies is just acting tough.
Jason
it's like, all right,
just being Jason Statham.
If that's the case, then all right, sure. Guy Ritchie told him to just be Jason Statham, and that's why Guy Ritchie has a bad movie on his hands right now. He didn't tell Jason Statham to act. He didn't give him a good plot to act in. Matter of fact, the plot that he gave him, he cut it short and introduced a totally new plot in which Jason Statham had nothing to do but pull a trigger in the whole second half of the movie. It's bad.
The fight scene, the gun battle was pretty good.
The whole plot, acting, directing, Guy Ritchie, you fucked up, bro. You did a bad movie. And I love him.
I'm not gonna call
hate
it a bad
to dog
movie
him out like this, but you did a bad movie.
There's no way you can justify half a crown when other movies that he's done exist. Like if I watch King Arthur tonight and that's not better than Wrath of not better than Wrath of Man.
Rock and Roller, Snatch, Lock, Stock.
I don't like Rock and Roller. I thought Rock and Roller was boring.
I like Rock and Roller.
Rock and Roller was boring.
I like Rock and Roller.
You want to know what I cut off? You want to know what I cut off? This is when I cut off Rock and Roller right here. Yeah, so what are we gonna do? This is
you missed the whole half of a great movie
because it was boring. Like, that's what happens. Sometimes your isms ruin shit because you're doing too much of your isms. I was like, all right, I'm done with this. This is like when I saw Zack Snyder before his slow-mo.
See, I knew you were going.
Like when you got isms, sometimes like the isms that you're looking for in Guy Ritchie movies, they're not always the isms that I look for. And sometimes those isms that you love are isms that I think might be a little trashy, that I was like, you don't have to do this just because people are used to you doing this.
As you can see, when he steps out of bounds, he fucks it up.
And you say he fucks it up.
Go back to what you do.
And I'm looking at shit that I'm looking at the stuff that you're giving it better than, and I'm just laughing at it. That's all I can do.
Yes, Addy. After the podcast, we will listen to Eminem.
What else? Revolver is good. I didn't see Aladdin. I didn't know he did Aladdin. Now I kind of have to watch Aladdin because I didn't know Guy Ritchie did Aladdin. He did Aladdin.
See, look, y'all fans and y'all don't even know.
I didn't even know. I don't even know. Everybody shitted on that movie so bad. I was like, I'm not wasting my time with that. Now I'm like, Guy Ritchie did it. I have to watch it now. Like,
you
I didn't
have
know
to
Guy
watch
Ritchie
it because apparently you acknowledge that he makes bad movies, and if everyone else says it's bad, then why waste your time?
Hey, look, I wish somebody would have told me Wrath of Man was a bad movie because then I'd have been like, yeah, all right, I'm not.
So how many? So
it's a half a crown.
Half a crown.
I gave it two. I gave it two. I gave it 2.5 because I don't know. Maybe because I don't have. Maybe because y'all overthink shit and y'all want too many. Y'all want to be spoon fed too much.
I was asking too much in what I said.
You were asking to be spoon fed.
Me asking.
You were asking. Hey, time out, Negro. I'm the Joe Button right now. I'm the Joe Button right now. All right.
And that's why we button heads.
Hey, you hear me get loud? That means shut the fuck up. Joe Button time, dog.
So aggressive over here.
All right, Maul. You about to just sit in the corner and say that's crazy, all right? Like Virgo time.
That's crazy.
Virgo time. All I'm saying is,
that's crazy.
You keep thinking of it as it has to be this big Guy Ritchie thing, and I just think of it as it is just a straight revenge movie. I don't need all this extra shit. Sometimes
it's not a straight revenge movie.
It pretty much is until you get to the one.
Two movies in one,
and then it turns into a heist movie. What do you mean?
Most movies have more than one thing going on in it. It's like it happens.
No, the theme of the movie. You
can weave things into. You can weave. What are you talking about? You can weave other themes into movies. Zack Snyder does it a lot. You can weave other things. You can weave other things into movies.
Why are we bashing Zack Snyder?
He's trash. We would never side skip a moment to trash Zack Snyder. He's trash. You
can weave things into other movies, dog. Like, there's a reason why you have action movies, why you have action thrillers, why you have sci-fi, why you have sci-fi thrillers, why you have mystery sci-fi. It's like things can be weaved into stuff.
And you can do that. And what I'm saying is he did do that. And it was to very little success, is what I'm saying. He was trying to Frankenstein this shit together. And
I feel like because it's Guy Ritchie, I feel like, I don't know, maybe I can take my brain out of it and maybe y'all just overthought it. Like I see this the same way I saw A Man Apart. I don't have to overthink it. It's like, oh, this happened.
A Man Apart had better action.
It had what?
Better action in Man Apart than this.
I don't think so.
This was it was. I mean, again, for me,
a lot of bullets.
I understand what you're both saying, but again, for me, I can say I'll rewatch this movie, but I'm also saying that there were so many plot holes in this movie.
I'm not saying that it wasn't plot holes. I'm just saying there ain't no way that I can believe that that movie is a half of a crown.
It's a half a crown.
I give it one.
That's because I couldn't think of something else besides a half of a crown. Like, what is this, a little tip? I didn't like this movie.
That's basically just calling the movie bullshit. And I'm just like that. Like, I sat back, I watched.
I gave it a half a crown.
It's like
half a crown's a bit much, though.
That's half a crown.
That's bullshit. That's basically saying that's bullshit.
One crown.
That's half of a crown is 1 star. It's half of a star.
If he would have done some of his Guy Ritchie isms in this movie, it would have probably turned out to be a better movie. But the biggest downfall of this movie was him switching the theme of the movie mid-movie, because you don't have enough time to tell both stories. It's literally a 2-hour movie. That first hour is Jason Statham and that revenge plot that you didn't finish building, and then but you switched it over into this heist movie in which you didn't finish building, and then you tried to cap it off at the end because they're not going to give you sequel money, not for this shit. So
you're not gonna get there's no.
I mean, he doesn't do a lot of he doesn't do sequels anyway. So
did you realize at no point did the main protagonist and the main antagonist of this movie share the screen and have dialogue with each other until the very end?
And then
that is trash.
And then the very end, really. If I'm gonna say too much at the end, so I'm gonna leave it.
I'm not gonna say he's the main.
I'll leave it at that. The main protagonist from somebody.
He's in the first half of the movie. He's Statham's main antagonist. That's the guy that he's looking for. I'm looking for this motherfucker. I'm looking for him. He doesn't find this nigga until what happened from the beginning all the way till then. You didn't show them in any type of relation, any type of plot at all.
I can't talk. Is he?
But they don't.
What?
But they don't know each other. So why would they need to be in a scene together before the end? If I'm hunting someone down the whole time, I don't need, like, why would I be sharing screen with them before I actually find them?
Because that's how you make a movie. This nigga at the end didn't know he did anything wrong until that time came, and he's like, "Huh? What? What do you mean?"
He did hit him with the, "Who the fuck are you? What did I do to you?"
Hey, look, take what you want and go, bro. Like, I don't even, like, what are you doing here? Like, he's the main antagonist. He's the bad guy. But he couldn't. He played a jerk and a jackass his whole part of the movie.
Are ruining
until he was the bad guy at the very end.
His whole, like, all he was the loose cannon. That's it.
And that's what he was too. But he's the main antagonist.
That's what he was. He was just the loose cannon.
He's the main antagonist. Like, you should have made Jeffrey Donovan the main antagonist, and it has some kind of movie woven around them, because those are at least two good actors, or one decent and one good actor, and I can make something off of that. But sometimes you don't do that. You fucked up, Guy Ritchie.
Sometimes in action movies, you just take it for what it is.
It wasn't an action movie, though.
It is an action movie. It is literally
was it though?
It's literally called an action movie.
It's
right. Described by everybody as an action movie.
You got.
It is an action thriller.
We were expecting more. That's all.
Y'all were. Oh, let me see something real quick.
I wasn't expecting like a John Wick spectacle. I mean, the action, I actually didn't have a problem with the action. The action is probably what has that half a star, half a crown. But
for me, that's what gives the crown for me. The action.
Everything else, like, bro, you didn't deliver on anything else that I know that you can do. And then just as a movie that I look to watch and enjoy, you didn't deliver. And I'm not even like that tough of a critic on shit. Like, I'm an understanding guy.
Oh, you're a tough critic on this one, though.
But no, he fucked up, man.
So have we killed this to death? Have we reviewed it to death?
I guess if Joe Budden over there wants to keep fighting.
I can still keep fighting. You want to keep going?
I mean, we can. I mean, you're wrong, just
I can't be wrong.
Start there.
I can't be wrong because it's my opinion. My opinion can't be wrong.
Well, your opinion is wrong. I mean,
your
sure,
opinion is ass.
Sure.
It's like my
there
opinion.
you have it, folks.
There you go.
There you have it.
That's how you end it. Your opinion is ass. If my opinion is wrong.
Over this movie.
I think they love me. They never put anyone above me.